the Ghana Independent Broadcasters Association is criticizing the Communications Minister, Eslo Wusu, for unilaterally imposing a $15,000 a month charge on television stations or risk being shut down from the digital terrestrial television platform. Reacting to the minister's threat, GIBA President Cecil Sonkwa-Mills says consultations were not concluded before she went ahead to fix the charges. I've been joined by Cecil Sonkwa-Mills for more on this. I'm grateful for your time, Mr. Mills. You say the Communication Minister did not finish consultation with you in any form before announcing these charges. Hello, Mr. Sonkwa-Mills. Kindly unmute for me. Okay, there seems to be a connection problem. Mr. Sonkwa-Mills, if you can hear me, I'm asking if there was no consultation at all. If there was, where did you reach before the minister announced these charges? Hello, Mr. Mills. Can you unmute for me? Yes, please. Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear.
Okay. All right. Thank you. The last engagement was actually an engagement done with through the Parliamentary Select Committee for Communications this year. We had a list of concerns. And one was included the pricing regime. Others were the absence of a policy for the DTT migration, which would have also catered for the challenge we have today. The other was the absence of a board and a management team, which was actually part of what the draft policy had intended, and also some stations that had been tendered. After that meeting, there was supposed to be a follow-up meeting as per the Parliamentary Select Committee. That was the decision of the day. But unfortunately, the next day, stations got invoiced on a fee, which we refer to as arbitrary. And because there's a process for setting these fees, and GIBA believes that process has not been followed. And so what we had to do in that case, since an invoice and what it meant, put a deadline on stations and pressure, so we actually sought the opinion of the courts. So we're currently in court for that interpretation. Okay. And we also, that's where we are now.
So your challenge, is it with the process that was not followed, or it is with the amount of money being charged? Which one exactly are you making a case for?
Yeah, one runs into the other, because if we had gone through the process, then an appropriate fee would have been decided by the appropriate act, which is the fees. Currently, we have the Fees and Rates Act, which has come through, and there's a process that follows after that to allow that act to play. So that process would have determined the fee. But it's important to note that GIBA or any station, be it GIBA or non-GIBA members, have never disagreed on paying any fee for carriage. That is absolutely an essential part of broadcasting, and we understand that it must be paid. So there is no objection.
Did you suggest any amount that you feel is reasonable? I mean, in terms of the $15,000 that the minister announced?
Unfortunately, GIBA was not invited to that meeting, but our members were there. And our members asked the ministry to explain how they came about the figure of it was 15 and was discounted apparently to 10, which came up on the invoices. And they asked for a breakdown, which the ministry had said they would share, but they never did. And that's where we are. So we do not even know how they came about the fees. It's important to note that broadcasters may have there are other modes of delivery of broadcasting in the country, and we have an idea of some rates, though they are commercial rates. So a discussion would have solved the problem of numbers.
So what are you seeking from the court right now?
Well, we're seeking from the court an interpretation of the mandate of the minister to fix such fees and to further terminate the services of some station under the regime of fees. So that is currently in.
And what's the update from court? All right, so there seemed to be a connection problem with Mr. Sunkwa Mills. If you are back, I'm asking what has become of the case, a bit of an update of how the case has traveled. Hello, Mr. Sunkwa Mills? All right, so there's a connection challenge there, but bottom line, they are seeking the court to interpret the mandate of the minister in fixing such charges. Definitely, I'm sure that will give them a sense of how to move forward from here. Definitely, we are monitoring this. We'll bring you more in our subsequent bulletin. The national